Greetings, fellow cinephiles. Today we're doing another quote-unquote objective ranking of films. This time we're doing 80s films released in the 1980s. Thematically, I have 80 films here, 81 here because the first row here is the header. But do have 80 films here, 80 80s films. That was tough to say for some reason. And I got their scores from across the five, I guess, review sites: Rotten Tomato Critic, Metacritic, Rotten Tomato Audience, IMDb, and Letterboxd. Got their average here. Gonna rank them by this. Um, I'm gonna try and have all of the films on the screen somewhere at all times so you know what is available. I'm going to order this, go down from the bottom, and just reveal them one by one, talk about each. You get the drill. These specific films I picked were films I felt were either quintessential 80s, had a big impact on society or culture, and there are a few highbrow, artsy films thrown in here just for fun. But I believe that covers it. Most of these films, I believe, will be recognizable to a general audience. So yeah, we're gonna take the scores of these five categories, average them. I'm gonna put them in order from least to most, and we're gonna go through each one, kind of talk about it. Hopefully, it will be entertaining. Oh my goodness, I can't line this up. Wait, I don't really need to line it up. What am I doing? All right, bam. Should be good. And unfortunately, I think the film with the lowest average is going to be Friday the 13th. I do like that film, but I'm guessing Friday the 13th. Flashdance. I'm almost spoiling myself for the next one. Ew, my scroller's not working too good here. But that's surprising. Flashdance, a 37, very low here. This is what I was more expecting off of Flashdance. The mid 60s maybe. I don't know why oh yeah, it's definitely a critics versus audience thing. Like, I don't think Flashdance is this a 37 and a 39. Yeah, this is probably going to be the weakest average of the critic scores. That's insane. I guess it's been a while since I've seen Flashdance, but I, maybe I gotta rewatch it. But this seems more in line with me. I think the audience have it on this one. 52. I should say I have not seen all of these films. I feel like I've seen most of them. So some of them I have not seen. But let's Rambo. I forgot to guess, but oh, Rambo Part 2. That makes more sense. I mean, I don't see Rambo being very high, but 53. Okay. This will be interesting to see as we get further up. Barely scraping by here. I guess the critics are in line on these films. Also, I forgot to guess what I think the number one's gonna be. I feel like my prediction for what's gonna top this is gonna be, I have three movies in my head. I'm thinking either Empire Strikes Back, uh, mm, yeah, probably Raiders of the Lost Ark is gonna be up there, and maybe Raging Bull. Those are the three in my head that I feel like are going to top this list. But for now, I'm surprised Friday the 13th wasn't here. That's what I would have guessed. Yeah, I still gotta go with Friday the 13th. I'm having trouble thinking. Oh, Roadhouse. Roadhouse is gonna be pretty low. But is it going to be as low as Friday the 13th? Um, let's go Friday the 13th. Ah, it was Roadhouse. Ah, all right. Same critics score average as Rambo 2. Interesting. Just a bit higher on the audience. Yeah. You know, as much as I think Roadhouse is not a great film, or maybe even not a good film, I would agree it's better than Rambo 2. Flashdance being here is wild to me. I don't know if I'm just misremembering this film as a better movie than it is, but it is what it is. Also, the release dates, I tried my best, but some of them might be off. I mean, it was just there for fun, basically. Maybe I could make some comparisons between dates and scores, but it was hard finding some of the release dates for these films, like theatrical release dates, because some were different. It was weird. Anyway, well, let's just continue on. Um, Now it's Friday the 13th. There we go. All right. Oh, it was a tie with Roadhouse, and it's just but a massive 70 for the Rotten Tomato critics and a 60. This isn't actually too bad. It's just Metacritic bringing it way down. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I as much as it's not a fantastic film, I do enjoy the Friday the 13th franchise for that campy slasher. That's like my favorite of the slashers franchises. I will admit Halloween is probably the objective best, like out of the first film of each franchise. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, Next, I'm starting to forget what I had on this list. I feel like we're running out of bad films. Probably should have put more meh films on here, but we'll see how this shakes. I don't know. Since Flashdance is so low, maybe it's like Dirty Dancing or something. That will be my guess, I suppose. Karate Kid Part 2. I keep forgetting I have some sequels on here. Yeah, Karate Kid Part 2. Not fantastic. Same with Rambo Part 1. Feel like it doesn't have much cultural impact. Although wait, is Karate Kid Part 2 that's a Peter Cetera's song from that film, I believe. So, yeah, you know what? It deserves some flowers for that, I suppose. It is 52. Again, showing some boost in the audience scores, but not too much. It's still, on average, it's the lowest so far, but it's the highest in the critics. That's surprising to me. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Well, maybe another sequel coming up. Rocky 4? I know Rocky 4 is probably gonna get a lot of brownie points with the audiences, but that would be my guess. Footloose. I see. Again with the critics versus the audience. I think we're gonna see a big uh, common factor with these films with the audience and the critics. 71. That's pretty high. It was is the highest of the audience so far, which makes sense. I feel like out of these, ah, Friday the 13th does have it's like a carbon footprint, like based off of the sequels, and that Friday the 13th does have a wide range of impact on society. But I would say out of these, Footloose is probably the most, I guess, popular, most referential. I don't really know what to think of next because I feel like we're starting to get into some at least decent films. Um, I'm gonna guess Rocky Five again. So sorry, not Rocky Five. It would definitely be in this area, maybe even lower. Rocky Four is my guess. Hey, that was pretty good. Mm, barely there. Yeah, I figured. Jesus, that's a okay. I don't think Rocky Four is great, but I think it deserves better than this from the critic scores. A bit of a in between here, I feel, is the best score that encapsulates Rocky 4. Ugh. I mean, yes, it being okay, I feel like Rocky 4 and Flashdance are better than these films, at least critics, and I have no clue now. Like, I have Lethal Weapon 2, but I feel like that's well regarded. Um, maybe something like I know Fox and the Hound is on here, and I can't remember what its score was from my Disney ranking. Uh, yeah, we'll just play it safe with Lethal Weapon 2. Short Circuit. Interesting. All right. So this is a film. Shout out to my parents. My parents love this film. Quoted a lot. I have yet to see it. It is on my list. Um, doesn't. Yeah. I I guess I gotta watch it to really understand if these scores are correct or not. But my parents really like this film. Hmm. Next, I'm probably another film that my mom specifically wants me to watch. It's Pretty in Pink, and that's gonna be my guess. Spaceballs. Yeah, makes sense. As much as I enjoy I guess the spoofs, the parody movies, I prefer Blazing Saddles, Monty Python, The Holy Grail for sure. That's probably my favorite one. Airplane's fun. Spaceballs, I wasn't into. I felt it was a bit too lowbrow in the humor for me. It was less biting and just more lowbrow humor. But there were some good aspects to it, just not for me personally. Yeah, I figured an audience advantage would be here. Kind of a big jump here. Like the biggest jump. Ah, there's a jump between Karate Kid and Footloose. Karate Kid Part 2, I should specify, and Footloose. Hmm. I'm going to say Dirty Dancing. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Understood. These are some decent scores, I'd say. Uh, Highest critic score by quite a bit. I do remember liking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but it's been over 20 years since I've seen this film, so I have no real grounds to judge it on. Yeah. Um, trying to think if there's another one of the. Yeah, I was gonna say Grease. Grease wasn't released in the 80s. What am I talking about? Uh, yeah, something like Dirty Dancing or Flashdance, in that it's well remembered by culture, but maybe not holds up to these scores as well. Yeah, I guess I gotta just guess Dirty Dancing again. Don't wanna. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Adventures in Baby. It was similar. Similar. I don't wanna lock myself into guessing the same thing every time. Yeah, kind of low on the critic. I enjoyed Adventures in Babysitting. Not my favorite, but it was a decent watch. Mm, mm. Okay, I can't. I keep having films like The Thing and like Indiana Jones pop in my head, I'm like, yeah, no, gotta wait a bit for that. Even something like Return of the Jedi, which I feel is a large step down from Empire, it's still gonna be pretty high. Top 20, probably, I'd say. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is gonna be high, I think. Maybe something like I got a few Eddie Murphy comedies on here. I think I got Coming to America and Beverly Hills Cop. I feel like those might be on the high end on the audience, but lower on the critics. I'm gonna say Coming to America. Top Gun, surprising this wasn't higher. I was thinking top 50 at least. Great soundtrack. Mm, yeah, pretty high. I think highest, not quite. Not quite highest on the audience. Yeah, Rocky 4, that's like cultural cornerstone there. Mm, I'm curious what's more culturally impactful, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4? I want to say Rocky 3 out of personal bias, but I don't know. Also, Rocky 4 just makes me feel of like the year 1990 for some reason. Like it feels like old 80s. And the fact that it's in 85 is mind blowing to me. Top Gun. Yeah, okay. I guess a little low on the critics. I'd probably put it more on this end of the spectrum. We're blowing through some movies I thought were going to be pretty high. I can't even remember if I still have Pretty in Pink on this list, but I'm going to guess it. Oh, there's Rocky 3. I was hoping this would be higher. I feel like it's my personal favorite of the Rocky films, although the first two are objectively better, I suppose. But I do really like Rocky 3. Yeah, okay. Pretty high considering, I feel. So I'm fine with this placement here. Mm, I feel like Fox and the Hound is coming up, but I'm gonna guess Fox and the Hound. Crocodile Dundee, I forgot I put this on here. Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, it was close to my birthday. Interesting. Crocodile Dundee, yeah. 89 on the critics. Hey, yeah, I feel like it's more here. Like I feel like everything else is pretty equivalent to where I'd rank it. 89 is crazy. And I think it's now the highest critics score so far. I did not expect at any point in this list for Crocodile Dundee to have the highest critic score. Well, that'll probably change pretty soon. Next up, I think I just gotta stick with Pretty in Pink. Maybe Fox and the Hound, but I'm gonna go with Pretty in Pink. Hey, nice. Um, yeah, another film that I have to watch at some point. Uh, Pretty high on the critic. Yeah, these are some decent scores. Um, I guess I'm more interested in. Well, I'm trying not to judge films too harshly on their scores, but between Short Circuit and Pretty in Pink, seems like Pretty in Pink is more of a film I would enjoy based off of these scores. But that's neither here nor there. Fox and the Hound, Coming to America. I did mention it before. I've actually not seen Coming to America now that I think about it. I thought I have, but it's only parts. So I have no real judgment. Metacritic kind of dragging this one down, otherwise, it would have been a bit higher, nearly to the 70s on the average. Hmm. All right. All right. Well, maybe Beverly Hills Cop is next. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Uh, yeah, makes sense. I thought it was going to be a bit higher. I felt like the audience score would have dragged it up a bit, but 89. Interesting. I'm seeing a lot of older 80s films here, like from 86 to 89. I'm curious. I don't think that's like an equation. I don't think that's something we can equate to like, oh, early 80s was better than late 80s. Maybe it is, but I kind of just took movies from across the spectrum of quality for the most part. They do range, I'd say they lean higher in terms of quality. Fox and the Hound. Fatal Attraction. I don't remember putting this on the list. Didn't even equate it to an 80s film. Man, pretty solidly ranked across the board, as in, like, seems like there's a consensus here. Alright, next up, I've been guessing Fox and the Hound. If Rocky 3 hadn't been picked yet, I would probably guess Rocky 3. Let's go with Lethal Weapon 2. Predator. That is nowhere near where I thought this film would be. What is this? What? So this 80th, so -1 or +1, so that's a 62nd. Number 62. That's insane to me. Like Predator, I feel is one of the. It's like up there with The Thing. Maybe not. It's more Terminator. Also, probably not on the same level, but it's like up there in that range, you know? And it's tied with Fatal Attraction. Here, low critics, high audience. So the critics, even the audience is like pretty low for what I'd expect for Predator. This is very interesting, very eye-opening. That Predator was like highly regarded. Hmm. Well, I guess in that note, I guess we can start guessing some of these other films I thought were highly regarded, like Fox and the Hound, NeverEnding Story. This makes sense. It's very polarizing, I feel. Yeah, look at the Rotten Tomato versus Metacritic score. That's kind of how I feel this movie is debated. I saw it once and I don't remember anything from it but a few clips and of course the horse, Atrax. I think that's his name. Yeah, that was devastating to me as a child. Mm, slowly creeping up each rank on the average. Um, I'm trying to rack my brain on what else there is so I don't keep guessing the same stuff. Hmm, I think Big is in here. I at least had it at some point. Rain Man. Uh, will just go Big. Land Before Time. Another one that I thought would be a bit higher. I mean, it's not as acclaimed as some other films. I mean, it spawned a bunch of sequels. So, it's very interesting. That I don't think I have another Don Bluth movie. Did All Dogs Go to Heaven come out in the 80s? I don't think I put it on this list if it did. Since we're doing animated films, Fox and the Hound, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I have not seen this film. I know basically nothing about it other than the name, so I have no inkling as to if these scores are quote unquote correct. Tied with Land Before Time. Similar to this film, National Lampoon's Holiday, is that what it's called? That's another film I have not seen that I really only know due to the name. That's another film I feel is in this zone, and that's going to be my guess. Back to the Future 2? I thought this would be a bit higher. Came out right on the cusp. I think this is the last film, like the latest film I have on this list. Huh. Low critic, high audience. Newest high, it seems. That makes sense, because I would have figured it would be higher. It's well regarded as a good sequel. Maybe it's the weakest of the trilogy? I haven't really thought about it. Hmm. Well, Back to the Future 1's gonna be high. Do I have Temple of Doom on here? I think I have Temple of Doom. I think I have 3 Indiana Jones movies. Oh yeah, I have Last Crusade and Raiders, so I should have Temple of Doom. For the longest time, I will say, I thought Temple of Doom was the third movie instead of Last Crusade. I thought Last Crusade was the second movie, so I was very confused when I figured that out. You know what? Temple of Doom, a Labyrinth. This is some of these films are very heavily respected, specifically by, I guess, culture, the audience. Not bad on the critics either. Like, this isn't like Metacritic's dragging it down, is the thing. I mean, a 72 average out of these scores is not bad. I should have pointed out, uh, IMDb, I times the score by 10, and Letterboxd, I times it by 20 to get a, you know, average out of 100. Yeah, I really like Labyrinth. I'm surprised it's this low. Is there another Muppet movie? I mean, there are Muppet movies, but I don't think I even put any on here. Mm. Fox and the Hound. Hey, finally got one. I mean, lost one of the things I've been guessing. Yeah, these are pretty good scores. 74. Okay. All right. Yeah, these are pretty good considering like it's not you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. Fox and the Hound is a great film. Uh I also have Little Mermaid. That's the only other Disney film I have on here. Was gonna put Great Mouse Detective, but decided Fox and the Hound and Little Mermaid were more culturally impactful. And Little Mermaid's gonna be up there, so not even gonna think about it. This is where we get Beverly Hills Cop. Temple of Doom. Hey, I did have Temple of Doom on it. So yeah, Temple of Doom, the weakest of the original 3. Yeah, I'm actually surprised it's this high, if I'm being honest. Not like it's bad, it's just not as good. Speaking of not as good, I was thinking Return of the Jedi, but it's gonna be much higher. So let's go Lethal Weapon 2. Abyss. I do like Abyss. This was recommended to me by my cousin, and I went into it not thinking it was going to be good. I quite liked it. Uh, Critics, bit low on the critics. Metacritic. It's always Metacritic bringing down movies. But yeah, this is pretty accurate to my feelings of the movie. Maybe a bit higher, but not complaining too much. You can't really say because I got the ones I know are gonna do well in my brain. I can't really think of this middle tier much. Maybe Rambo 1. I don't know how well regarded Rambo is, but I feel like Predator's better than Rambo. I'm gonna guess Rambo. Dirty Dancing. There's Dirty Dancing. All right, much higher than Flashdance, which I kind of equated the two on the same level. So maybe I gotta rewatch Flashdance and see if it holds up. 90 on the Rotten Tomato audience, which I believe is the highest so far. Trying to, ooh, oh no, it's gonna be a mess. Oh, here we go. We're good. Um, yeah, pretty much. And then more average on the other ones. So definitely got boosted by this 90 Rotten Tomato audience. Platoon keeps popping in my mind. I felt like it had a pretty high score when I looked at it. And let's just guess Platoon. Karate Kid, another film, not even in the top 50. I guess I picked some good movies, I guess. Because Karate Kid's a very good movie. Getting dragged down by the Metacritic like all good movies do. Yeah, Karate Kid, that's pretty interesting. Would have thought it'd be way higher. I would have guessed top 30. Alan, man, I don't even know anymore. I'm surprised Karate Kid's lower than Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, I really like Beverly Hills Cop, but I feel like critics would not like it as much. That was my guess, by the way. There's Lethal Weapon 2. Yeah, I had to be here eventually. Pretty good scores, especially for a sequel. I gotta rewatch Lethal Weapon 2. Hmm. Yeah, this is okay. I was gonna say it's a jump, but it's the first film to have both over 70 since Fox and the Hound. Oh wait, no. Karate Kid just did. I'm blind. Um, let's just go with Rain Man. Batman. That's pretty a coincidence, I suppose. Batman 89. Yeah, definitely a good Batman film. I like Batman 89. Yeah, these are some good scores. Metacritic's a bit too low. And maybe I'd bump up a few of these. It's a good average though. Yeah, can't complain. Do like me some Batman. That's number 50. So we're in the top 50 now. So I can maybe start picking out some of these other ones that I was thinking. Okay, that's a thing was I'm forgetting is I did put some highbrow movies in here. Movies like Cinema Paradiso and Amadeus. So that could bump a few of these films that I thought were going to do higher down a bit. So maybe it's time I start guessing stuff like. Did I put Airplane on here? Let's guess Airplane. There's Beverly Hills Cop. Bad time to switch. Tied with Batman. Yeah, yeah, okay, not as bad on the critics as I thought. Yeah, I really like Beverly Hills Cop. Would say I like Batman just a smidge more, but Beverly Hills Cop is, I was gonna say good for what it is. It's a good comedy. What about Dead Poet Society? There's National Lampoon's Vacation. Oh my goodness, a 94 on the Rotten Tomato critic and then a 55 on Metacritic. And they kind of weighted toward here, so I guess all things being equal. Man, a three-way tie between Batman, Beverly Hills Cop, and National Lampoon's Vacation. What three? I have not seen this one, but I assume these are three very distinct films that you would not figure would average out to be the same. Uh, is it time for like Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I know it's like well regarded, but that's gonna be my guess. Gremlins. I forgot Gremlins was on here. Surprised it's this high, if I'm being honest. Like, it is a culturally impactful film. Just figured maybe Metacritic. Metacritic is very weird. But yeah, a decent showing for Gremlins. How about something like we already had Karate Kid 1. Eh, it's too early for Back to the Future. You gotta guess something like Return of the Jedi. Goonies. Ah, you know what's I see. I know what I'm gonna guess next. 90. Like Goonies is good, but 90 and 62 is too low, I feel. Yeah, I feel like IMDb, Letterboxd, Rotten Tomato Critic, those ones typically get it right, I'd say. An 81 average on the audience. Yeah, Goonies is pretty beloved. And it seems like it's the new highest, beating out Predator. Hmm. All right. So I think next is Stand By Me. Beetlejuice. Understandable. I mean, yeah, yeah, this is probably where I place it. It's a good film, not fantastic, but it has its charm. I know there's just some heavy hitters I'm forgetting, and I feel it's too early for Return of the Jedi, but I gotta guess it again. Evil Dead. Ah, I forgot I put the Evil Dead films on here, which means Evil Dead 2 is on here as well. Interesting. Yeah, pretty I mean, bit higher on the Rotten Tomatoes, but seems to be a consensus here on where this ranks. Ooh. See, I feel like The Thing is coming up. I think it deserves to be higher, but I do think it's gonna show up here pretty soon. Aliens is on here. Aliens could be up there. Like, I prefer Alien, but Aliens is gonna be up there. Same with Terminator. I prefer Terminator 2, which I believe came out in 90, so it's not on this list. But Terminator 1 is gonna be up there. So I think maybe it is time I start guessing stuff like The Thing. There's Lethal Weapon. Yeah, should have guessed Lethal Weapon before The Thing. Die Hard's gonna be up there as well. Yeah, these again with the Metacritic, but otherwise seemingly a consensus here. How about let's say Platoon? Oh, First Blood. I mean, similar to Platoon in an aspect. Uh, yeah, yeah, bit low. I'd say the Rotten Tomato is a bit high. Metacritic a bit low, and very high on the audience. Tied with Lethal Weapon. I'd I'd put Lethal Weapon above First Blood for me. First Rambo film, but that's just me. And no way it's gonna be like Die Hard's coming up next, and I feel personally The Thing is, man, could it be something like I was gonna say Little Mermaid, but no, that's gonna be a bit higher. Uh, and running out of choices. Running out of choices. Let's go with Last Crusade. Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. Poltergeist. Thought this would be higher. Ooh, Letterbox. Kind of low. Kind of low. Yeah, I figured this would be a lot higher. Well, maybe not like a lot higher, but inching into the top 20s. It is I feel like it's the most respected horror film. Am I crazy on that? Like, there's Saw and Halloween, but this is one that gets put into the artistic snob category, the high end movies. Hmm, I don't know. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is another one, I suppose. Uh, Next up, ooh, Ghostbusters. It's gonna be Ghostbusters. RoboCop. All right, but I'm starting to remember films. There's RoboCop, pretty high. Yeah, I mean, as RoboCop is not much to add. Pretty in line with what I think it would be. Do I have RoboCop 2 on here? I don't think so. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, never mind. Um, yeah, I think I gotta go with. I think I gotta stick with Ghostbusters on this one. There's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yep. All right, we're getting into films that are very good, and I feel the ones that are just a step above, and the ones from like, and what am I even trying to say? These are going to be films that are very good. They're just not going to be up there with your Empire Strikes Back and whatnot, and also the few artsy films that I put in here. Gonna push these films down, so this is where I feel we're gonna get stuff like this. Man, very across the board here for like a 61 to a 92. Is that one of the highest discrepancies between two scores on this list? There's a 50 and a 86 down here. This is still pretty high. Yeah, pretty. Is this the highest average now with the audience? Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna guess Ghostbusters. Big. I did have Big on here. Okay. I have not seen Big, but seems like it is well regarded, so maybe I'll have to check it out. Uh, yeah, gotta guess Ghostbusters again. It's gotta be around it. Breakfast Club. Oh, it's in the same vein as well. Oh, that's another film. Yeah, I was thinking maybe it'd be a bit higher. Engine toward the top 20s. It's a well liked film, as seen by this pretty high audience score. Not as much as Ferris Bueller's Day Off, though. Interesting. But higher on the critics. Hmm, that's fun. That's a fun thing to note. Yeah. I see. I don't want to keep guessing Ghostbusters, but there's no other film I feel on this list slots into this specific section so well. I know it. Dead Poet Society is the other one. I'm gonna guess Dead Poet Society. There's Return of the Jedi. Okay, see, Metacritic knows what's up. Okay, it's not that bad, but I don't think it's this good either. Like it's the new audience favorite. Okay, maybe Metacritic could bump it up a bit, and these are fine. I guess I don't dislike Return of the Jedi. It's just the weakest of the original trilogy. I'd even argue it's weaker than Revenge of the Sith and Force Awakens. I might get some flack on that one. Alright, maybe I'm not gonna. That's not an opinion I'm willing to die for, but just throwing it out there. Maybe. So I gotta go Ghostbusters. Wrath of Khan? No way. No way. That is way too low for Wrath of Khan. And I mean, these are great scores. Again, Metacritic kind of bringing it down, but I mean, any film would like to have these scores. So, and a tie with Return of the Jedi. I don't agree with that. I feel like Wrath of Khan is definitely the best Star Trek film, and Return of the Jedi, at least from the original trilogy, is the weakest. I put Wrath of Khan up there with Revenge of the Sith. I'd put Wrath of Khan up there with Empire Strikes Back. Maybe just a skosh lower, but still. Yeah, we're getting into some good films. And Ghostbusters is considered better than these. These. Like, I guess Ghostbusters. Rain Man. Another film I have not seen, but seems like I gotta check it out. Yeah, higher than these? Alright. Guess I gotta add it to my to be watched list. Okay, I was gonna say, I thought it was the new highest audience, but still, Return of the Jedi. Oh, ET's on here. ET. Although ET's gonna be high, I feel like it's coming up soon ish. Ghostbusters. Oh, Ghostbusters. Nightmare on Elm Street. That's pretty high. That's insanely high. I don't think it's that good. It's good. But is it that good? I'm just upset because my Friday the 13th is just such a weaker franchise movie wise. I prefer Jason to Freddy, but movie wise, nearly every other horror franchise is better than Friday the 13th. It's sad. For me personally. Everyone else would be better than Ravicon. I don't think so. Even Return of the Jedi, I'm like, Breakfast Club? Hmm. Alright. Ghostbusters. Scarface. Too high in my opinion. Scarface is good, but it's not. It's not here. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Scarface, but it's like after seeing Godfather and Goodfellas and all that, this one just was a bit hollow for me. See, the moment I don't guess Ghostbusters, it's gonna be Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters. The Thing. Ghostbusters is not better than The Thing. Great score. Metacritic, what you doing? This is why. Metacritic give it a proper score when it deserves. One of these, it'd be much higher. Getting dragged down. And look, it's even the new fan favorite. Deservedly so. And Scarface actually had a big audience score. Better than Return of the Jedi. Hmm. Nah, the thing deserves better. Metacritic, you messed up. Not even in the top 30, the thing. Man, the thing deserves to be in, like, close to the top 30 movies of all time, not just 80s films. This is whack. Uh, I guess Ghostbusters, Evil Dead 2, there it is. There it is. Figured it would be higher than the first one. Yeah, not much to say. Yeah, very culturally, ah, maybe not as culturally impactful as I'm thinking, but you ask people about these films, they've probably seen it. And this one's a bit more niche, I'd say. Still popular, and in the circle of people who know it, people really like it. So not surprised it's this high. All right, it's gotta be Ghostbusters, right? Hey, all right. My goodness, these scores don't even look that impressive. The 95 pulling some weight. Uh, Yeah, all right. It just doesn't even look that impressive as opposed to like look at all right, this 52, if this 52 was a 70, it would be trouncing Ghostbusters. Okay, maybe not trouncing, but you get what I mean. And even Metacritic kind of pulling Ghostbusters back a bit. Yeah, Ghostbusters is good. I'm not even upset that it's this high. I'm just upset it's higher than The Thing and Wrath of Khan. Well, we're in the top 30, so there's going to be some good films coming up here. So, Last Crusade. Oh, wow. Two for two, two in a row. That's probably as much as I'm going to get. I'm going to preemptively guess Dead Poet Society is next. Again, Metacritic. I personally like Last Crusade more than Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I can see why objectively it's better. I just prefer this one personally. Yeah, yeah, ooh, no, not quite. See, Thing is still the most popular with the audience, and I can respect that. This score, I tell you. All right, Dead Poet Society. The Fly. Uh, Here's another one with uh, Poltergeist that is very both a good horror film, but also tickles the artistic side of things. And oh, yeah, see, highest critic score so far. What did Poltergeist have? Can I even find it? Is it there? It is. Yeah, an 83 for Poltergeist. That's pretty good. I mean, hey, Nightmare on Elm Street is a horror film with a great Metacritic or critic score overall. Hmm, I don't know. Maybe I just gotta rewatch Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know. Thought it was in between Halloween and Friday the 13th in terms of quality. Well, continuing on, I guess Dead Poet Society, right? When Harry Met Sally. Very nice. You know what's coming up soon? Princess Bride. Even though I feel it's a top 20, I feel like it's gonna just sit outside of it. Yeah, When Harry Met Sally. Very well regarded film. And scores across the board. I mean, okay, no. But the averages are pretty in sync. Seems to be an accurate depiction. It's a well liked film. Princess Bride? The Shining. Yeah, should have guessed The Shining before Princess Bride. Honest. But yeah, Shining, great film. I prefer it to the book, but it's one of the rare films I prefer to the book because I am a book fan. But they're doing two different things, so it's not a film I would it's not an opinion I would die for. In just making it. 87. Yeah, that's a wait, 87.7, yeah. It's a new high. Better than the thing? I wouldn't say so. You could argue it. I wouldn't fight you too hard, but I think the thing is still better. Dead Poet Society. Let's go Princess Bride. Airplane. Got you. Yeah, Airplane's good. I think it's much better than Spaceballs. Wonder what Blazing Saddles and Monty Python Holy Grail would get. Yeah, that's a high critic score. I feel it feels weird to see a critic score on like a spoof movie, but it is very good spoof movie. Dead Poet Society, Little Mermaid. All right, all right. We can get that. Check that off the list. Yeah, very good film. Highly rated. Yeah, largest critic now. Yep. And pretty. No. Dang, shining. But still, very good scores for Little Mermaid. I keep guessing Dead Poet Society and I'm wrong. And I want to kind of switch to Princess Bride, but it could be up there a bit. What about. Oh, is New Hope. No, New Hope is late 70s. Hmm. Princess Mononoke, Grave of the Fireflies, those are going to be pretty high. Uh, Amadeus, Raging Bull's going to be up there. Gotta guess Princess Bride. There's E.T. Yeah, again, Princess Bride's better than E.T., so why am I guessing Princess Bride so early? No shade to E.T. E.T.'s a fine film. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, that's gonna be. That might be the highest critic score we see this whole list. That's an insane critic score. Yeah, this is more what I would equate to it. And then coming together, tied with Little Mermaid. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like the Thing came out the same time as another film. I forget which film it was. Hmm. I guess we'll take a look. Wait, when 82 June. I think it was Gremlins. It's Gremlins. All right, I'm gonna take a look here. Gremlins June 8th. No, but I do feel like Gremlins came out. Ah, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters and Gremlins came out on the same day. That's fun. That's fun. Now, where were we? E.T. Ah, Dead Poet Society. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Is Dead Poet Society even on this list? I'm gonna be upset if I keep guessing it and it's not even on this list. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, I forgot it was on this list, but deserves to be here. Very iconic, very just probably the most ambitious crossover there's ever been. Objectively, can't think of another one. Like you could say Marvel movies, but they're like in the same universe. So this is like you get to see Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny on the screen at the same time. That's insane. Eesh. Princess Bride, Die Hard. Wow. Was expecting a top 10 showing from Die Hard. Metacritic. What are you doing? Otherwise, yeah, these are some great scores. Yeah. I'm glad to see Princess Bride get higher than Die Hard, just on a personal level. Top 20 now. So the top 10 is going to be pretty filled up between Empire Strikes Back, Lost Ark, Raging Bull, probably Princess Mononoke, Grave of the Fireflies. Gonna have stuff like Amadeus, Cinema Paradiso, Das Boot. Das Boot's gonna be up there. I really liked some Das Boot. So some of these other films that I felt were gonna be in the top 10 might just be in the top 20 instead. So yeah, I think this is the time where I start guessing Princess Bride. I've been guessing Princess Bride. Princess Bride. What's another one? That's the only one I can think of that would be here. Princess Bride. Terminator. Ah, ah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, 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 no complaints. No, no notes. Pretty high on the critics. Yeah, I figured it would be high. Wasn't it 100 at one point? It was, wasn't it? Don't think it's 100. I much prefer the second one, which is oh, Aliens. Aliens is gonna be up here. But it is weird. I think I say that I think I've said this twice now that it's weird that I like Terminator 2 more than Terminator, but I like Alien more than Aliens. I don't know. But yeah, my guess will be Aliens. Stand by me. Ah, I guessed it earlier. Or did I even guess it? I was thinking about guessing it earlier, but it didn't. I forgot about it. Surprised it's this high. It's good, but I'd put it like just a step above the Goonies. Hmm. Is Platoon on this list? I'm gonna guess Platoon. There's Dead Poet Society. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's Dead Poet Society. There's not much to say. Aliens. There's Princess Bride. Good showing for Princess Bride. Even with a 78, that is too low for Princess Bride. 80, that's too low. And I'm surprised this is all that low. I would have suspected more 85s, the average. But yes, very good. Is it now? No. Stand by Me. Jesus, Dead Poet Society has a massive audience score. The Shining. Shining still technically the highest audience score. Hmm. And it looks like, yeah, E.T. I don't think anything is going to be beating E.T. for critic score. Maybe like the top three could do it, but this is going to be tough to beat. Aliens. Blade Runner. Forgot about Blade Runner. Would have probably guessed it. Yeah. Blade Runner, one of those movies that is well acclaimed by both. It is a very good movie. Tied with Princess Bride, I'd flop them. I prefer Princess Bride, but that's just me. I like fantasy more than sci-fi. Dystopian. We're running out of options here. I keep thinking Aliens. Is Aliens even on this list? Alien isn't. Aliens is. I'm going Aliens. Full Metal Jacket. Another one I forgot, but it makes sense that it is this high. A good film. No notes. See if there's a pattern here with the years. Doesn't look like it. Let me think. Maybe something like Cinema Paradiso. I think Das Boot is pretty high. I really like Das Boot. I'm going to guess Das Boot just because if it's not, I'll be happy that it's higher. Platoon, there's Platoon. Damn. Really high for Platoon. That's insane to me. I don't know. I guess Platoon's a classic. I don't hear it talked about as much as these other films, though. Hmm. Hmm. Aliens. Nice. Nice. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Man. Platoon got a higher critic. Aliens got a higher audience. I am surprised, honestly, that the critic scores are averaged higher than the audience. To me, Aliens is just a pure popcorn audience film. And Alien is more of the critic side. What's what's the highest one of these? Is it still The Shining? Hmm, fair enough. I've run out of movies to guess. Oh, Amadeus. Amadeus. Oh, this is Spinal Tap. One that I have not seen. But considering how high it is, it might be boosted pretty high into my to be watch list. There's a 95 again. Wow, I didn't think anything would come close. But it's a 95.5. But maybe there are some films up here that will get a higher critic score. And even an 83 is decent on the audience. Like that's good. That's a great score. Just comparatively to these ones that were before it, it's a bit lower. I'm gonna guess Amadeus again. My Neighbor Totoro. Forgot I had three. Yeah, 90 with 86. Yeah. Yeah, so that's number 10, technically. I mean, it is number 10. So we're in the top 10 now. All right, let's see if I can name all the films I have left. Empire, Lost Ark, Raging Bull, Amadeus, Cinema Paradiso. We have Princess Mononoke, Grave of the Fireflies. Those are the ones I'm recalling. Don't see any others. Yeah. Out of those, I'm gonna guess Amadeus again. Raging Bull. Wow. I would have thought it'd be in the top 5. Maybe even number 1. Not as high on the critics as I thought. Interesting. Tied with My Neighbor Totoro. Wow. You know, on a similar note, I'm gonna guess Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, Do the Right Thing. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No notes. I forgot it was on this list. Uh, shoot. Shoot. Keep guessing Amadeus. It's gotta be there, right? Amadeus. Cinema Paradiso? I guess Amadeus is super good. Ooh, a bit low on the critic. Pulling it way down. Because that's a high audience. That is for sure the highest audience now. Tied with Do the Right Thing. Man, how good was Amadeus? I'm not guessing Das Boot. Das Boot could feasibly be number 1. I don't think it's going to be. I think. Oh, I forgot that. Back to the Future's up here. All right. Okay. So this is technically 7. So there's 6 left. So Raiders, Empire, Back to the Future, Amadeus, Das Boot. I'm forgetting one that I think I said last time. I probably feel like I guessed it. Wait, there's 7 left. Do I not have either Princess Mononoke or Grave of the Fireflies on here? Ah, whatever. Uh, Amadeus. There we go. Okay. Amadeus. And this is pretty high. 88.8. Like, considering it's a bit of a jump. A zero point 0.6 jump after a bunch of just coagulation. This is a 0.5, 1.5 jump. So, there's something there. I think I gotta guess Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, Back to the Future. Back to the Future is gonna be next. I think. Maybe Das Boot. Back to the Future is my guess. Ooh, I hesitated and I paid for it. A tie, though. A tie with Amadeus. Wow. Yeah, it is a well regarded piece of film. Just 2 points higher here, a point lower there. Wait. Oh, I see. I was like, how is it? Okay, it's a point and point 0.5, 1.5, and then 1. I was curious why it was averaging differently. It's the average of all 5 and not the average of this versus this. And either way, it would be the 6th spot there. I think Princess Mononoke. Das Boot. Very good. It's a great film and would not be surprised if it was anywhere in the spots above. Am I insane? Do I not have Princess Mononoke on this list? Do I not have Grave of the Fireflies on this list? Is Princess Mononoke even an 80s movie? Wait. No, wait. I have Empire Strikes Back, 2 Ghibli movies. Is that it? Am I forgetting one? Back to the Future. Back to the Future. I feel like I'm missing a film here. Oh boy. I don't know which one I'm missing. But yeah, Back to the Future. Yeah, it's a classic. I don't need to justify these scores to anyone. Surprised it is lower than or higher than Raiders, if I'm being honest, especially in the critic department. Oh, that's Amadeus. What am I doing? Barely, and then barely on the audience. See, it makes more sense that Back to the Future is more of an audience film, but I feel like Raiders is more of a critic. I mean, they're both. I mean, Raiders is a action adventure. Okay. Either, yeah, there's 2 films left. So I think I missed Princess Mononoke or Grave of the Fireflies. So I think maybe Princess Mononoke is 90s? I don't know. I thought I had Princess Mononoke on this list. Anyway, next is either going to be Princess Mononoke or Grave of the Fireflies, whichever I forgot. Empire Strikes Back. I thought for sure it would be number 1. And it's in a tie with Back to the Future. Interesting. Metacritic, what you doing? Look, it's higher than it in all of these, a tie here, but then Metacritic kind of snubbed it. I mean, 82 is still fantastic. So does that mean, you know what? It makes sense if it's Grave of the Fireflies. Because it's going to have 100 critic. It's going to be like 100 and like a 95. And then the audience is probably going to be massive. Princess Mononoke, while it is my favorite, I go back and forth between Princess Mononoke and Grave of the Fireflies. But I don't think Princess Mononoke could pull number 1. So I do think Grave of the Fireflies is here. Yep. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Oh, wow. Even a jump here. Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies is art, really. It is a very good movie. Interesting. I wonder if I did have. Was Princess Mononoke here, down here somewhere, and I just forgot it? I thought I had Princess Mononoke on here. But anyway, yeah. So here's your top 5 here. Raiders, Das Boot, Back to the Future, Empire Strikes Back, Grave of the Fireflies. Very good top five. I'd say only, I guess, two of them would be sitting outside the zeitgeist, if you will, which is pretty nice. Even Grave of the Fireflies, like Spirited Away and Princess Mine, okay, maybe more Spirited Away, I'd say, are in the zeitgeist. Yeah, I really thought Empire was going to take it, but that is quite a jump there. And it would have tied with Empire anyway, or Back to the Future, I mean. Yeah, so that's been a look at some 80s films, ranking them in terms of these. Let me know if there's any 80s films that you feel should have been on this list. I do like this format when I do it with some other film categories, but for the near future, I'm going to be trying to do some other stuff. But until next time, farewell, fellows and fellows.